so much for joining us. It's time for one-on-one, and I'm hanging out with the lovely Anne Kansiime. What's up, girl?
What's up?
I'm so happy to see
And that
you.
music in the background is very distracting. I might start bending over here when I'm supposed to look serious.
Please don't. It's reminding you of home, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who is that artist?
Maro.
Thank you, DJ Crossfade. He brings the house down every Friday right here. That's our resident DJ. Tonight, we're hanging out with the lovely YouTube sensation and multi-award-winning stand-up comic Anne Kansiime. For those of you who don't know Anne Kansiime, let's just listen into some of her work. She's been on the road lately. She's been in the US, she's been in South Africa, Zim, you name it, taking comedy across international borders. Let's listen in.
He has put up with me. I know one day he will surprise me. Yeah, sometimes I even wake up at night and just watch him sleeping, and I'm like, what's going on in this man's head, really? No, what is it? Think about it. Do you marry me? You see how he's thinking about it? He cannot make any rash decisions right now. He's weighing his options. So that's how I am. I look at him and I'm like, when is he going to come to his senses? So I'm still in shock. I cannot believe it. But he didn't ask me to marry him. I'm in limbo. They don't know. Are they in a relationship? Are they suspects? Are they roommates? They've been studying you for 4 years. They are studying you, trying to understand you. Are they studying you? What are you doing? What? You see, if you look around, some people are not interested in them. They're like, move on, the next one. But no, I'm still on this one. I need your help. What do you be looking for exactly? You have met a girl, some of them even risk and cook for you and wash, and then there is some even give you children, and you're still thinking about what are you thinking? Are you scared to turn into a man at some point? What are you looking for exactly? I'm telling you, okay, they didn't ask me, but I know.
So that's where she's been. Those two incidents, and those are just a few, by the way. You are all over the internet.
I was trying to figure out which places those are.
Yeah.
I think one is Zimbabwe. Yeah? Yeah, one is Zimbabwe. And then the other one is, I think, somewhere off the continent. Yeah.
So you've been to SA, Kansiime, you've been everywhere, literally.
Privileged to travel to places where every ninja of mine is. You know, and I haven't even gone halfway where they are.
So everywhere you go, somebody can relate to what you're saying, because I'm thinking the pressure to actually communicate to this international audience, to actually make them laugh, because this is a cosmopolitan crowd. You can't be too sure who is from East Africa, who is from where.
What's worse is when you come to an audience and there's a Chinese seated somewhere and there are white seated somewhere in a corner, you're like, why are they here? These are the people going to go and say that they didn't get any of my jokes. Why are they here? Because I'm not going to change my accent for them. I'm going to speak as botanically as I speak. And then sometimes I even point them out in the audience. I'm like, are you getting it, or is someone attempting to explain it to you? So the challenge is moving so far from home, and you're like, who is going to be in the audience? But then it's so beautiful when you reach particular areas and they tell you your show is sold out. Oh, and then the pressure goes so high. You're like, okay, who bought those tickets? What are they hoping to get? So then you're just under pressure to do everything in your power to tickle them till they say stop it.
And when you look at the West, Kansiime, there's a lot of successful female stand-up comics, but in Africa, arguably, well, this is arguable, but you're the only one that stands out. Why is this happening? Why are women shying away from comedy in Africa?
Well, I think we have to start somewhere. I think the fact that I'm doing this and there's someone at home watching me do this, you know, travel this much, I am the beginning. Like, if someone looks at me, that means I'm doing something that's totally possible. So we just need to give them time. Within 3 years, you will be like, there'll be a lineup, there'll be a panel here. You'll be done to judge who you ask the first question. I believe we are going to grow so fast. Because in Uganda right now, we have a monthly show called Queens of Comedy, where it's queens, unless you have cleavage and you know you're a woman.
Are
you
they
don't stand
funny?
on. Yes, very hilarious.
Yeah.
My creative director is called Kotilda Inapo. She was the first stand-up comedian in Uganda, but you don't know it. But then she's like, now she feeds me most, if not all, of the content that I do on stage for stand-up. And I have a whole creative team, really. But they are there, just that you haven't seen them yet. And now that I've come out, I think it's really my responsibility to make sure I throw them around as much as possible and people get to know about them. But we're doing it already in Uganda.
All right, and sharing the stage with big international names, Basket Mouth. I don't know who. There's this really funny Ugandan guy. I don't know what his name is. I remember
Salvador. He's mental.
Salvador is crazy. Yeah, he's a special child.
In a closed place.
I know. So sharing the stage with some of these big names, say like if you're having an extravaganza and you're coming in, say after Basket Mouth, and the pressure to even leave people in more stitches than this guy did.
See, the beauty is someone who really watches my clips comes to watch me. They've come to just see that crazy woman. So I think I hold on to the fact that I have ninjas that will show up to watch a ninja. So I count on the fact that I have what I have for them, and Basket Mouth, for instance, in that same audience, we'll have people who've come to actually watch him. So it's just knowing where you place. I even had a chance of hosting the Frima Awards with him.
Yes.
Oh, you know, he's cooler than he appears on stage.
And quite good looking.
People are watching.
So let's go back to good looking. No, seriously, I mean, it helps that you're eye candy. Why do you think guys come for your show, Kansiime? Yeah, you are eye candy.
And today I tried to be egg candy also.
The shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see the shoes on this girl. So, Kansiime, let's go back to how we even learned about this big brand. YouTube sensation. What happened to YouTube? Are you still filming for YouTube?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see, right now I have about 246 videos on YouTube. Okay. But then I have about 500 that you haven't seen, so they will still come till you say, okay, I have no bundle to download this.
Yeah, because people have been asking, we want to see more, Kansiime. Are you not filming anymore?
It's more, just that, you know how I cheated on Citizen for this year? So I think they're saying, why is she not here? Because they're not seeing me on Citizen, but I'm coming back next year.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. I wanted to ask about Don't Mess with Kansiime.
Oh, please. I'm going to come.
People said, okay,
I think I'll change it and say never, ever, ever mess with Kansiime, because this content is really brilliant.
How was the reception of Don't Mess with Kansiime? What feedback did you get about the show from audiences across East Africa that have access to Citizen TV?
Amazing. Amazing. And some of them still think it airs. Because even when you ask them, what programs do you like on Citizen? They said Don't Miss, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, maybe I usually miss it. Maybe I miss it, but I still think. So that's why I really can't wait to come back. Yeah. I really can.
And when you compare the digital, which is YouTube, and TV, how would you say the response is? I mean, when you just weigh the two for you who started off on YouTube.
YouTube is brilliant, because YouTube is the reason I'm called to places like New York, New Jersey, and you land and the show is sold out. I don't know anyone there. I don't even have relatives there. If it wasn't for YouTube, no one would know me that side. No one at all. You get to a place, I don't know. I think TV is good because then you get closer to the people at home that won't get the bundle, and then you get closer to the maid who is frying and peeping through the window, seeing what's happening. You get closer to the askari that sneaks away for those 30 minutes and watches. But then for me as an artist, if it's time to like go broad, social media is it for me. And you know how Kenyans on social media are.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
No wonder they were my first love. I'm telling you.
I know, Kenyans live on their phones like literally.
I'm telling you, they even bump into each other. I see them on the street.
So let's talk about your jokes and your content. Watching some of your clips, Kansiime, you talk about Ojok, the love of her life, by the way, for all the guys who are asking about Kansiime.
I have such a big heart. I can also love you, but maybe agape, not the way I love my husband.
So you use a lot of personal stories in your acts. Are these actually true stories, or do you just make up stuff? And how does Ojok feel about it?
He knew as a comedian by the time he married me. And most of the content he actually gives it to me. He says, by the way, you should joke about this. I think they will laugh. I'm like, are you serious? Like, yes, I've told you, joke about it. Because it's also hilarious. But I'm thinking, when I travel, you see, clips made me known. But then when someone invites me to perform in a country, they can't carry the whole crew of 17 and the act to do that work on stage. So I go and try to just bond with my fans. So I borrow stories from my life. I just exaggerate them. You know, if my mother would do this, when I'm telling the story, I say she would do this. So I just exaggerate everything, and sometimes I accuse her of things she didn't do, but then the joke lands. That's the whole point. So by the time I leave, people feel like, we know her, we know she's married, we know she went to school, but at on a lighter side. So
this versatility in your brand, you know, from YouTube to TV, now to actually hitting the road and you know, just doing stand-up comic with an audience there, with an actual audience there. Is this a strategy? Is this a Kansiime strategy, or are you transitioning into something else that you perhaps always wanted to do?
Oh no, if you're scared that the clips will stop being scared. The clips will keep coming, and stand-up came as a solution for the demand that I hadn't earlier, you know, planned for. Because then if you're invited to a place, you want to stand on stage and explain to them your clips. You'll have to have something. So stand-up came as a way of finding a solution to actually reach out to my ninjas that want to see me in 3D, to see me live and take a picture and take a selfie and say I was rolling with Kansiime. But it's not a transition that I'll walk away from what I've been doing. Skits will stay there. Stand-up, God bless it, will stay there. And of course, very many other shows are coming up. Not Don't Mess, but very many other shows.
What has been the most remarkable experience you've had now that you've been on the road? This is a totally different ball game. I always tell people that there's such comfort in standing behind this camera and talking to the camera.
And knowing that they might edit, maybe.
They might edit, but when it comes to actually talking in front of an
crowd,
where you can actually single out somebody who's not quite feeling your
commercials.
Joke.
And those are the worst, you know, because then they look at you like they're saying, let's see. Let's see. And they say you are funny. And they sit in the VIP and start laughing in installments. Like they don't know that they came for a comedy show. Yeah, it's challenging. But my most outstanding was Zimbabwe so far, I think. All the others have their special things, but Zim was amazing. Because it's one thing being invited to perform. It's another arriving in a country and your show sold out 2 days ago. And you have people just, and you're like, okay, who are these people? I don't even know, how come what do they love? What do they want? For me, really, it was so nice that I landed and they were asking me to do a second show. I said, let me do the first one. Then you ask for that. They were like, for us, we don't care, we finish this one. That was overwhelming.
And this is you, or this is a Kansiime affair, or you have other comedians lined up?
Kansiime.
For what duration?
Like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I started when I couldn't do 15 minutes, then I went to 30, then I went to 45. But if you threaten me right now, I can even make you laugh for 2 hours. Yes, I leave the audience without saliva, but I make you laugh.
I don't doubt that. And what disappointments, what have you learned about being on the road? What experience have you had that hasn't left you too happy about being out there on stage?
Well, usually it has to do something with the organizers. Because the fans never disappoint. They always show up. But the challenge is having to face those organization issues that you cannot carry on stage. Because comedy is, you perform from feeling, how you feel. What you feel is what you put on stage. So if there's so much chaos backstage, it affects your performance 75%.
That is true.
So that's been my worst challenge. I cannot have a fight before going on stage. I cannot know what's not working. I cannot know whether I'm going to eat. As in, I don't want to know about any problem before I step on.
So how do you fix that? How do you make sure that that never happens again?
I have a brilliant team. I have 2 managers. One that manages me off the diaspora, Johnson Mujungo, and I have my magician manager for the African continent, Kakai Emma. And they are my bulletproof. So if there's anything that's not going well, they are totally stressed, and I am totally in the dark about it. That's the only way I've managed.
That's important.
Yes, they are so stressed. Like, you even see their cheeks shaking when they're smiling. You know there's something going on, but they won't tell it to you. So they be the bulletproof for you, and then you manage.
And recently on this show, I was talking to yet another celebrity, and what they said is that the worst thing about being a star is that people forget about you very easily. People get impatient with brands, and I don't know how fair a statement that is, but how then to reinvent yourself, Kansiime? How do you just keep staying relevant.
The problem is the more you love me, the more pressure I have. Like, as we draw near to tomorrow's function, for instance, I start scratching my head. I'm like, so what if this joke doesn't work? Why? Because when people show up for you, that's worse pressure. You would rather perform for an audience that looks like they don't believe you are funny. Those ones, you'll make them laugh because you're even trying to show them, this is what you are going to miss. But when you have people who are in the audience and they love you so much, and they're saying, we are waiting to eat from your palms, you better have something to serve. For me, I think that's my greatest pressure. But when I thought after a year, they would love me less, they love me more, so I need to give them more. So finding more from just this is too much, because I'm not even a road through.
Yes, very tiny girl, but really super funny. The hashtag is #111. Talk to Kansiime, talk to her on @Kansiime +256. So Kansiime, let's talk about tomorrow's event. Kansiime is visiting our lovely country for an event. Kenya meeting up with, or rather teaming up with you from Uganda. What are you guys doing? What's the plan tomorrow? Where should people be?
Well, the show is at Carnival, and I've been told the online tickets are 2K, and then when you come at the gate, you pay 3,000. I think so. I'm going to be with Chief Kizzy. I had an opportunity to meet him, and he proposed. And I sent a requisition.
And Ojok is watching.
Yeah, I sent a requisition. He hasn't replied. I asked Ojok what he thinks about Chief Kizzy's proposal. Maybe I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Then I met Jal today at the show, and everyone is amazing. Then there's the Nigeria, Ofweneke.
Oh my goodness.
She just listened back to Lagos. What is he doing?
That is another crazy one.
I know! He's amazing. He's amazing. I've had an opportunity to work with them at Comedy Club, live in Kampala.
Kenyan men are asking what you think about them, by the way, Kansiime. I mean, yes, they do agree that you are taken, but they're like, what do you think about Kenyan men? Because Kenyan men love Ugandan women. They say, you're humble, you're nice. There's this perception, I don't know, and I'm sure it's not true, because I've seen Kansiime serving Ojok food, that you kneel when you're serving your husband's food, that you're super polite.
We do it.
You do?
We do it.
Even you?
But what opinion do I have of Kenyan men? That's what you're asking. Let me tell you, when you meet a man who is crazy about you, before you're crazy about them, you will only see an angel. So for me, Kenyan men are like ideal there. Why? Because they come when they know you are a nice person. I think they even treat us better than they treat you guys, because they're expecting us to be really nice. So if you ask me how they are totally awesome. The hugs I've been receiving at the reception, I'm telling you, I might go back home when I have hormonal changes on my body.
All right, Kansiime, so a lot has been going on clearly in your life. Any new projects? What are we hoping to see from Kansiime? Of course, you've told us that you'll be back on our screens very soon.
Yes.
That you have stuff.
I'm working on a film.
Oh, you're working on it?
Yes, they've been asking, hey, when do we get a real film where we put and sit for like an hour or something and watch? So I'm working on a typically Kansiime film.
With the same cast from...
Same cast and then some new people, and but then you need to give them what they know, what they've been seeing, and then surprise them a little bit. So I'll just twitch it a little bit. Then I'm working on 2 other shows, a show for the kids, a kids show, and then a talk show. And so next year is going to be hectic.
About your music career.
I know.
Amazing voice, but you can actually sing, Kansiime. And your passion for children.
I shocked myself. I did. I shocked myself. So I've been writing. I finished writing the 2nd album. Because the first album had few songs, about 9. And kids need so much entertainment. The attention span is short, so you can't just release a few songs. So I've been working on that. But then this 2015 tour took so much time from me, so I didn't get around to do the video, so that's also what I'm going to do next year.
So you're pretty busy. And if Marcy, can we see that video? That is Anne Kansiime right there in action, working with babies. Let's listen in.
If you wanna dance and have some fun, come on the horny
That is Anne Kansiime. So your passion for children, when you plan to have your own, I know that's pressure.
I know. And the more you ask, it's like the more my time you say, my womb says,
your ovaries are
promise them and we shall see. You know, and it's worse when they keep asking, so when? Just the way you never know when you actually get married. I ended up getting married when I didn't plan and say, this year I'm going to do this. I'm just waiting for God to do his thing.
Yeah.
I never ask him for stuff he doesn't give me, so I know the child will come when it's time.
That is positive energy. So your preference to work with children, Kansiime, this is driven by something. This started from way before the YouTube.
My first character to make sense as an actress, because then I didn't know as a comedian. The first character was as a child.
Yeah.
But for me, I was so comfortable. Even in school, when I was called up to explain something in mathematics on the blackboard, I would speak as a child, and it was intriguing. So for me, I don't know, I just had love for children right from the beginning. Like, I just wanted to grow in reverse as opposed to grow and get these, well,
and are the mothers and the fathers buying your content, the music for their children? Are the children singing along to the music?
They are. Yeah. Believe it or not, children are thirsty for entertainment that is actually made for them. Because yes, they're enjoying entertainment, but it's not made for them. Most people right now are performing for adults. And then children just take the
like my son, 5-year-old Josh, the other day was singing Adele's Hello to Me.
I was like, imagine. And you're like, who is your ex? Who is that one you're sending that hello to?
Like, what are you saying?
See, hello can even be nice. There are songs that have lyrics that a child has no business singing. You find a kid playing with blocks and singing, bend over, bend over, bend over. You're like, why are you even bending over? Why? You know,
that is
it's really sad.
Yeah, I mean, sad, but
children
true.
Actually taking it. It's like finally you're giving them what really is for them. So I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to like produce enough content and like roll out a plan to be sure to have new content, for instance, every month for children, because they deserve it, and very few people are doing it in Africa.
Well said. So I know this is an unfair question, Kansiime, but I mean, for all the aspiring female comedians and even male you know, performing artists out there who look up to you, they're like, man, this girl has been busy. You had this huge endorsement last year. You have been on the road. You are a YouTube sensation, meaning, I mean, from the number of hits you get, you're getting paid, you're producing content for Citizen TV. So how much is Kansiime worth? I mean, this is an industry that you can comfortably say that, you know, is a six-figure industry if you take it seriously. How much is Kansiime worth?
I'd like to believe they are 6 figures, like you said. Yeah. So what would be the first figure on the big, if they are
well,
6?
We hope, well, more than 6 actually, because it could be...
Have you met Kenyan currency?
You could be a billionaire, you could be a trillionaire.
Well,
you could be a millionaire.
I think I can answer that by but you put me on that spot. Okay, I can answer by saying right now I am in a position where I have not just what I need, but what I want.
Wow.
Yes.
I hope I can say that someday.
Yes, I'm telling you, when God favors you, he does it extravagantly.
Nice.
I know.
Has that changed you? Has fame changed you? I know nobody ever sees that change coming, by the way.
Yeah.
But then you have
That's a question you'd have to ask my personal assistant, my BFF.
They probably talk behind your back and say, we can't stand
I know.
her.
Those ones, they even front bite me. They don't even wait to go to my back to back bite me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
do you think, like, honestly speaking, from the people that were in your circle from before, do you get the sense that perhaps you've changed, even in your own thinking?
Yes,
perhaps?
I've come because it used to bother me. It used to bother me. I used to have people that in my head were my friends, that when I stopped spending time with them, I was like, okay, what's wrong? Is it me? It has to be me. It has to be me. Something is wrong. But I think I've noticed that a particular category of friends have stuck around. Like, they make time, because they realize I might not have time to call. They'll call and be like, Madam, so you're now famous, eh? You don't call now. People who can actually do that now, those are my friends. I've had to... I'm one person, and believe it or not, I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago. But I'd like to think I'm changing for the better. So yeah, I have a bunch of friends I had long ago and a bunch of new friends. Good. So those that, when someone is happy for you, they stick around.
How do you deal with the haters? You know, the critics that are just out to just crush your spirit. And you talked about social media.
The thing about life is you don't have to be in the spotlight to have haters. You will have a hater even if there's nothing to hate about you. Like, even if you are, what kind of job would possibly That's like the most peaceful. Like really, like if you're a teacher working at a nursery school, still you have haters.
How?
So how about me, who insults Philip day in, day out, who tortures people on screen? Really, I have people who just look at me and they're like, that is trouble. And then you have those natural. But then I think the beauty is I just focus on the people that love me, because really there are many, and that's all about life. If you choose to focus on the negative, it wears you out, because I have ninjas who are diehards. Even on my page, if something goes wrong and someone posts and says, I don't think she's still funny, hey, they'll stop even commenting about what I had written. They'll all go to that ninja and be like, hey, so what are you doing on the page? So you focus on the people that love you. You just leave the haters to
I mean, you yourself, I would be afraid to hate on openly. You know those people who hate on you and yet they follow you, and you're like, dude, I can see
it's nice to keep tabs on your enemy. You never know when they're around the corner and you can set a trap.
That is true. But I'll be afraid to diss you, because you can come at me and, you know.
In real life, hard. On screen,
So what's the funniest joke that you've ever told, and particularly here for Kenyans? Because I don't know, you know, East Africa, you look at our dynamics, not too different in terms of culture, in terms of what we like, what we don't like. You know, there's a traffic jam, there's a corruption. It's the same story, I suppose, across Africa. But what's the funniest joke you've told in Kenya? The one that you actually had to pause because you had to stop people. I mean, you had to wait for people to stop laughing.
Because I haven't had that chance. I'm going to have that chance tomorrow. But if it's in terms of clips, because in stand-up comedy, I haven't had a chance to perform for Kenya.
Oh, you haven't done it before in Kenya?
No.
So for the first time, people.
I'm telling you, we are going to break our virginity tomorrow. Me and we are going to love ourselves, all of us. It's going to be love in the air at Carnival tomorrow. But in terms of, the funny thing is the most hilarious clips, when I'm doing them, I think they come natural for me. So I don't see the joke till the feedback comes, and then you go back online and be like, let me watch this thing and see, and then it gets you. Up to now, I have people who, yes, they see my other content and they're like, oh, she's hilarious. But there's that one clip, there's this clip of up to now. It must have been the first clip that came here. But I think it was the first one that introduced me, and they will never stop watching that clip. It's their favorite. Kenyans.
Okay, your parting words, Kansiime, you know, for the people who've missed you and can't wait to see you in action tomorrow. Talk to us.
If you have problems, please bring them along. Just bring them along, put them in that chair at the carnival, and when you're leaving, I promise you, leave them there. And you know, it's overwhelming. Kenyans, you have loved me too much, eh? Give me an opportunity to do the same thing tomorrow. Just show up tomorrow at the carnival and I will revenge.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I will revenge.
Yes, well, I get it, what they say about Ugandan women. That is so sweet. It's melting my heart. Okay, so...
now you're making me wonder what kind of romance happens here in Kenya. What is this?
This is what people are saying to you, Kansiime. I think this star is so close to success. She's already there, I believe. Kansiime, I love you. Keep the fire burning. Someone here is asking, Lillian, ask Kansiime what she applies on her hair. It's cute, naturalista. I like. Somebody here saying, you're wonderful, dear. What should I do to join comedy? Well, you heard what she said. Take the plunge. Kisumu is celebrating you, baby. You are terrific. Keep it up. This is very in Kisumu. Have you been to Kisumu?
Not yet.
Not yet. You should visit. And there's so many. We'll just have to forward them.
I'll go and stalk them on Facebook when I get offline.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Kansiime. I mean, really, it's been great, and we wish you all the very best.
The music is in the background. I want to dance because they keep sneaking it in. Well, then I'm not paying attention.
This is the part where I let this little lady do her thing.
No, getting up to it is Friday evening. I am not going to dance.
You're going to make me look like a whale.
And I don't do things halfway. When I stand up, we all have to dance.
Well, where's the other crew members? I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah, of course. Please. We need to have people here dancing. We need to have one or two. It has to be a dance off. If it's not a dance off, it's not a dancing.
Okay.
Yes. And the person who stage is family now.
Who's willing to go?
Then I have movements that you cannot understand.
Everybody in this studio is super shy.
Super shy.
So you teach the Kenyans your moves, and I'm just going to walk away and celebrate.
I am still not going to dance if I don't dance with you. And I want the world to know this. Today, if I don't dance for you, it's because of her.
No, I can't do a burn-off with you. No,
let's just chill and enjoy the music. And leave the dancing to the people in the club.
DJ Crossfade, do your thing.
All the DJ can actually follow us. Let me see, what song is that? I love this one. I cannot not dance. You know the thing I love about Nigerian music, even if they are singing things that are not God related, somehow they sneak in God. And I like this new one. Hey, even me, I can dance. I have rhythm. Stand up and show me something. You're not?
No, I'm not.
Okay, to be continued. We shall continue this.
I can't sing the cover.
We shall continue. Come tomorrow, you watch all you want. God win.
Thank you.
God win.
If you want for my hand, but God you win. If you want keep my joy,